Let's talk about strategies for the entire test. First of all, you want to know your target score. In other words, how many questions do you need to answer to get the score that you want to get? Most students think you have to answer all the questions on the SAT. That's not true. In fact, a raw score of 37 will get you approximately a 600 on the scaled score. And that means out of 54 questions, if you get 37 correct, you can leave 17 blank and still get your 600. So go and look on the rubric what exactly you want to get and what raw score you need to get there. Secondly, you need to manage your time. Now that we've realized we don't need to answer all the questions, you can spend a lot more time on the easy and medium questions. And then I would recommend leaving most of the hard questions blank. Unless you're aiming for a 700 or above, you shouldn't be answering all the questions anyhow. And that should make your life a little bit easier. Now, the good side about time management and focusing on the easy and medium questions is you won't make any careless mistakes. And this is one of the main reasons why students lose points on the SAT is they rush through these easy and medium questions and they make a ton of careless mistakes. Don't do it. There's two types of errors. The first are computation errors. This is math, dealing with math mistakes. The easiest way to solve that is to write down all your work on the test booklet. Then you can go back and double check. But the second type of mistake has to do with question errors, where you'll think that the question is asking you for the X when it's really asking you for something else. It's like this. If I said, "What's my name?" and you said, "I hate taking the SAT," that statement is correct, but is not the answer to the question I asked you. I asked you what my name was, and it's Chelsea. So what you want to do is underline in the problem what the question is asking for. Then, when you go to circle your answer, you double check and you make sure you're answering the question that is asked. Let's look at this problem. If 5x plus 6 equals 26, what is the value of 5x minus 6? So, if you were in math class, you might go something like this. Now I'm going to solve for x. X equals 4. Answer choice A is 4. They match up. I circle A and I'm done. However, notice that's not what the question asked. The question asked you for the value of 5x minus 6. So now I have to take my x, which is 4, and put it back in through to find 5x minus 6. So I can go 5 times 4 minus 6 gives me 20 minus 6, and it's 14. And my answer is actually B. So you want to be very careful to make certain that you underline what the question is asking. Let's look at this problem. In the month of September, for every 2 days it rained, it was sunny for 4 days. What was the difference between the number of days it was sunny and the number of days it rained? This doesn't seem like a typical math problem, does it? So, we're not going to do it in a typical math way. I think I'm just going to start writing things down. We have 2 rainy days, so that's going to be rain, rain, for every 4 sunny days. Sun, 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 sun. So that gives me 6 days total for one cycle of rainy days and sunny days. I also know that I have 30 days in September. So I'm going to have 5 of each of these groupings of rainy days and sunny days. So I can say multiply by 5 here. In this case, I would multiply this by 5 and this by 5. So I have 2 rainy times 5 gives me 10 rainy. 4 sunny times 5, which gives me 20 sunny, and the difference between them is 20 minus 10, or 10. In fact, this is a ratio problem, but it doesn't matter. We didn't need to use ratios to solve it. We were able to solve it using our critical thinking skills. Let's talk about more strategies for the entire test. You're going to want to show your work in your test booklet. This does 2 things. As we've discussed before, it will help you avoid careless mistakes. The second one, and probably more important, is if you find yourself doing lots of complicated math, writing formulas and solving equations, and it takes up the whole page on your test booklet, you've been caught in their trap. And you need to go back and look at the problem and do it a different way. And that's how you're going to get the right answer. You also want to use process of elimination. Now, don't just eliminate your answer choices. Physically cross them off. That way, when you go to guess, which is down here, it'll be a lot easier. You'll be able to see you only have 3 answer choices instead of 4 or 5. Now, you always want to be aware of the difficulty level of the problem you're working on. It goes like this. Easy questions are simple, hard questions have traps. So if you are answering the hard questions, be on the lookout for the traps. It's like that old saying, if something seems too good to be true, it probably is. And that is how it works on the hard problems on the SAT. Now let's talk about guessing. We've already discussed how you lose points if you get answers incorrect. However, if you can use process of elimination, then guessing can be to your advantage. Here's how it works. Let's say you can eliminate 2 answer choices. Now, your probability is 1 out of 3 instead of 1 out of 5. So, on your raw score, you would get 1 point for the answer you answered correct, and you would lose 1/4 point for each of the 2 you answered incorrect. That would give you +1, minus 1/2 point, and you would end up with +1/2 of a raw point. That translates into approximately 5 points on the scaled score. So imagine if you were able to use this process over the entire test, you could gain a lot of points. Let's look at this problem. Lindy has a green hat, a yellow hat, and a pink hat. She also has 3 sweaters, 1 green, 1 yellow, and 1 pink, and 3 skirts, 1 green, 1 yellow, and 1 pink. Lindy wants to wear a green, a yellow, and a pink outfit consisting of 1 hat, 1 sweater, and 1 skirt. How many different possibilities does she have? Now, this is a difficult problem, so there will be trap answers. What you want to do is you want to look for answer choices that you can get with easy computations, and those are the ones that are going to be wrong, and then you eliminate them. So let's see here. She has 3 sweaters, 3 hats, and 3 skirts. If I multiply all these 3 together, I get 27, which is answer choice E. So that is eliminated. Now, if I add these 3 threes together, I get 9. That's also way too easy, so I eliminate answer choice C. Now, if I wanted to just start writing out the possibilities, so let's say she has, here we have hats, we have sweaters, and we have skirts. So if she wears a green hat, a yellow sweater, and a pink skirt, and I start writing out the possibilities, I know that I'm going to get more than 3. That's too small. So I eliminate that one as well. At this point, you have a 50-50 shot. And if you want to go ahead and take a guess, take it. Actually, you have to, because if you guess, when you only have 2 answer choices left, you're going to gain points throughout the course of the test. But let's keep going. So let's see here. So instead of a green hat, a yellow sweater, and a pink skirt, let's keep the hat the same and let's switch these two. So that's 2 choices. Now let's say she starts, we're going to now move the green over here. And this will be yellow and this will be pink. And I can swap those 2, which will give me 4 choices total. I then can move the green over here and I have 2 more choices like that. So my final answer is B6. This is actually a probability problem. So mathematically what she would do is she has 3 choices for our first slot, and since we can't repeat the color, she has 2 choices for our second slot and 1 choice for the third, and you'd multiply these together, which gets you 6. 2 ways of doing the same problem.